All right, everybody, welcome to another segment of the barbecue. Today we're doing our college football preview. We're going to go through each division, the Power Five, make our predictions, and debate a little bit if we got something different. I'm here again with Daniel Barr, helping me out again this week. So let's start it off. ACC, who do you got, DP?
ACC, well, I'm pretty high on Florida State this year. I think it's going to be tight at the top. I think the top teams are definitely going to be Florida State and Clemson again. I think North Carolina is also going to be solid with Drake May. Miami, who knows? Pitt, I kind of feel the same way about Pitt. Wake Forest, I feel better about if they didn't lose Sam Hartman to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But I think the championship game is probably going to come down to Clemson, Florida State, and I got Florida State winning the ACC this year.
You can't. I mean, you can't expect Wake Forest to be there after losing their QB.
Nah.
I don't know. Pitt looked good last year, but you're right. You got to go Florida State and Clemson. Both of those rosters are outstanding. Most of the people from Florida State came back this year. They're actually looking like they're going to be tough, and they're all mostly juniors or seniors now this year. So that's a tough team. But I don't know. I feel like Dabo. I feel like Dabo's gonna have something up his sleeve. I think this Cade. I forgot his last name. Help me out if you remember it. Yeah. I think he's gonna be a difference maker with his legs and his arm. He was a number one dual threat quarterback, I believe, in his class. So Dabo's had such good success with all those quarterbacks between Trevor Lawrence and even DJ Ugolaki. He's had between him and Brown. I mean, I think this guy really has a chance to be special, and I think that Clemson's going to win the division or win the conference this year. I mean, but yeah, you can't count out Drake Mays. You can't count out Florida State either. I don't think Miami has a chance. They're just always overhyped every year. I'm sure that Pitt has a great year, but they won't be in it this year. I'm going back to the big front runner in Clemson.
So you think Clemson's going to win?
I think Clemson's got it. I think they're going undefeated this year.
Gotcha. Okay. So what's that? We got the Big 12 next?
Yeah, we can do Big 12. Big 12?
Big 12, okay. Well, the Big 12 is interesting because you got, 4 new teams this year? You got BYU, UCF, Houston, and Cincinnati.
Yeah, you got 4 new teams in the division. You got 4 teams that you're not familiar with, so there could be a lot of upsets this year. I mean, there always is in that division. I mean, last year, look at it. Baylor was a team last year to be looked at. I mean, TCU, even Texas. Texas at the beginning of the year was a strong favorite last year. I mean, they got to be the favorite again this year for sure. This is the last year that Texas and Oklahoma are in the Big 12 before they move to the SEC. So you're thinking that they're going to want both of those teams are going to want to end their legacy strong in the Big 12. Personally, I don't think the TCU will be that good this year. They lost too many star talent. I don't think that Baylor's going to be that great this year. They just always seem to lose the big game. And I think that with 4 new teams in that conference, really struggle with those teams, especially knowing that a couple of teams are East Coast teams.
Yeah. Out of those 4 new teams, who do you think is going to do the best in the Big 12?
I think SMU's got a real chance. I think the way they play. Huh?
They're still AAC.
Oh, it was with SMU. What's the BYU? Sorry.
BYU.
BYU, not
Same thing.
No, I just think that the way that BYU plays, they play that fast-paced offense. They got people coming back this year. Um, they're always a strong team. They always play every team strong. They got a great fan base. Um, they just love to play that hurry up tempo pass first offense, which seems to work really well in the Pac-12. Sorry, the 12.
Yeah, I would like to see UCF do well because I've always kind of liked UCF, but at the same time, I think BYU, kind of like you said, they're always a solid team, even though they've always been like an independent group of five type team. I feel like they've always been able to play well with those Power Five schools. So I think BYU also do well.
In the nation, still finished, I think 10-3. I mean, there was a couple games that they had that went into double overtimes. I remember that Oregon game specifically. I mean, they knocked Oregon out of the top 10 that week. So,
yeah,
and I know they got a lot of people back. I know that quarterback's back who was lighting it up last year. So, I mean, I'm not too familiar with his name, but I just think that they got a good squad, and their coach always needs to have them ready. So that's why I think that they're. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see UCF just as a homer, just from Florida. I mean, I'm still a little salty that they call themselves the national champion, even though they didn't win the national championship a couple years back there. But but no, I always root for them just because they're a Florida school. I love Florida talent. I love watching the Florida schools play. I think that BYU just has the better now ready team.
Yeah. So the Big 12 championship you got.
12 championship. I'm gonna be. Man, I hate picking the favorite, but I'm gonna go with the favorite again. I'm Texas. I think Quinn is gonna be the man. I think he's gonna rock everybody in that conference. They might lose Alabama that first game, but playing that first game against Alabama is gonna get them really ready for this conference, I believe, and I think they're just gonna destroy everybody after that. There'll be a one champion in the Big 12, I think.
Yeah, I think Texas, you can't really count them out. But at the same time, I like Oklahoma. I like their quarterback, Dylan Gabriel. He's a fifth-year guy.
Part of UCF. He was at UCF for a while.
Yeah, and
that really hurt Oklahoma last year, being hurt.
Yeah, it did. And they got Brent Venables as the head coach, who was the D coordinator at Clemson for a long time.
That's true.
They won, I think, 6-6 or 7-5 last year. Not great, but I think in year two, I think they'll be able to turn some heads, and I think it's going to come down to Texas, Oklahoma. They're going to have a rematch.
I think those teams are really going to play really hard because their last year. They want to prove to everybody that they're ready for the SEC. So I think that both of those teams got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder going into the season.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the Red River Showdown twice this year. Once the regular season, and then again Big 12 championship. And I think it's solid. I think they could win the Big 12.
They could. I mean, like I said, they started out great last year, and they kind of fell off after Dylan Gabriel got hurt. The backup quarterback put them in a good situation to win. So, I mean, as long as that is healthy, I mean, like I said, man, you can't ever count out those big name schools. Every year they're going to be up there. A lot of them are. Everybody likes to ride them out whenever they have one bad season. But I'm thinking that Texas is going to finally bounce back, get that monkey off their shoulder, and get another Big 10 championship before they leave. I mean, Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
But don't count BYU, I'm telling you. Don't count them. That is a sleeper team. But yeah, what's next? The Big 10?
Yeah, Big 10.
Big 10? Oh, come on, man. We already know who's the three knockouts here.
The top three.
Nobody even comes close other than the three knockouts every year. It's always a run between not even 3. It's only the same 2 a year.
Who,
That-
Michigan?
Ohio State, Penn State, and it's bullshit that they all play on the same side of the division because that Big Ten championship sucks every year.
The Big Ten West is just so weak. You got
It's-
Illinois, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Purdue, Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's going to have a pretty good year this
Everybody says that, but come on. The way that Michigan went out last year too, after like disappointing so many people, they're gonna just run through that division or that conference. I think. I mean, you know that Ohio State's gonna have somebody that's gonna show out probably at the QB position. I don't think they decided who it's gonna be. Yeah, Michigan. I think Michigan's got this. It's not even gonna be close.
Okay, so you take Michigan's going to win the Big Ten East. Who do you think will come out from the West?
Oh, it'll probably be probably you're right. Probably Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the East, I'd probably go with Michigan also right now. It's either going to be Michigan or Ohio State probably, but I'll take Michigan.
Whoever wins the game against each other will probably win that division.
Yeah, the reason I say Michigan though is because they have their quarterbacks coming back, and Ohio State, they don't know who their quarterback's going to be. So that's why I'm kind of riding with Ohio State. But out of the West,
Matter with their wide receivers.
not really, because they always have like 5 receivers.
Or like best wide receivers in the NFL. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, unreal. And then
He's
I'm
top
got 2
5
probably gonna be a first round pick in the draft whenever they come out.
But yeah, out of the East, I'd say Michigan probably. The West, I think it's either come down between Wisconsin and I think Illinois is going to be good again this year.
Illinois had a good. I
They
like
got
too.
who?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, yeah. Fleck row the boat.
Exactly. You know, Minnesota got a decent team. They didn't do too bad last year. I think they're like 8-4 last year.
Yeah. But Illinois, Brett Bielema, head coach, has been had a solid for a couple of years there. They had a good year last year too. But I think it's going to be Wisconsin coming out of the West with Fickle coming over from Cincinnati. I think he's going to get Wisconsin to turn around, get back to like a top 10, 15 program this year, hopefully. So
I agree. I feel like that's kind of like really all they're missing.
yeah, Paul Chryst was head coach for the last few years.
They always got a great defense. They always got a good offensive line. They always got a good running back.
They always have like 2 or 3 really good white ones too. They're good for that every year.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be again Wisconsin. I think Michigan will probably come out the Big Ten champion.
Big Ten champion. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they're going to disappoint again. I think that's much of a chip on their shoulder.
We'll see what old Jim Harbaugh's got up his sleeve.
Hey, he's always got something. All right, what's that? We got SEC or Pac-12? We'll save the SEC. Let's go Pac-12.
Pac-12, yeah.
Pac-12, honestly, like Pac-12 kind of showing up right now. I mean, you got Bo Nix in the Oregon, Caleb Williams at USC, the Washington guy. Why am I drawing a blank? Penix.
Go Penix.
Yeah, I mean, he's solid. I mean, DJ Ugonali from Oregon State.
Yeah, from Clemson.
The old Clemson quarterback. I mean, shoot, they got UCLA, too. UCLA was pretty good last year.
The real question is how we feel about Coach Prime in Colorado.
Oh, hey, you can't count him out either, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Does his win?
I'm expect much out of Colorado this year,
And
honestly.
already won, in their opinion, because they already sold out the whole every home game this year.
Yeah, as long as they're bringing it, they don't really care.
Boulder's the place to be.
Boulder
So,
looks fun.
winning, in their opinion.
Yeah,
Have to keep all of his toes. So that's another win.
that's also a win. All 10 of them.
But no, yeah, you can't count them out. But yeah, USC is the favorite. Caleb Williams is, he's going to be the number one pick in the draft. It's not even going to be close.
He's at Mahomes Jr.
Exactly. That offense is unreal. Now the issue is their defense going to let them down because we've seen that happen a lot last year. And that's the one thing is there's a lot of teams with great offenses in the Pac-12, but nobody really has a good defense. Now that's where Washington can sneak in and win, because Washington has a really good defense. Maybe not as a whole in the league, but for the Pac-12, their defense is really good.
Yeah, Washington. If their defense can come up strong, everyone says Washington, playing there at Husky Stadium is also always a really tough place to play because of how loud it is.
Oh, they said the same about Oregon.
Yeah.
Same thing about USC. When you're in a Power 5 conference, there's no easy place down the road.
No.
Except maybe SEC.
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
But yeah.
But I think the Pac-12 is pretty interesting this year. I feel like a lot of people typically sleep on the Pac-12. I think the Pac-12 is going to be probably one of the better conferences this year.
Yeah,
just
late night. Love it.
Colorado is just interesting because of Dion, and then we'll see how Shedeur does as a quarterback starting there. You got Oregon, who a lot of people are high on Oregon and Bo Nix again this year. Oregon State, who's had a good year last year, and they got DJ Uiagalelei. USC, obviously, Caleb Williams, Riley, those two guys, you can never keep them out.
Shout out to for getting drafted by the Dodgers also this year.
Oh, yeah.
Hasn't played since high school, but hey, shout out to that. But yeah, Lincoln Riley, you can never count him out. Continue, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Then you got Utah. Utah is, they're probably going to be ranked in the top 15 coming out. And then Washington, like we were saying, there's a lot of good teams.
Other teams that could really upset some of those bigger name teams. Utah's one of those gritty teams, that just always seems to hang around, and then they always seem to pull one of those miracle wins out and upset.
Yeah. They always seem to upset Oregon or USC or someone
like that. Last year they upset USC, didn't they?
I think it was either. Yeah, I think so.
I think it was, yeah. Or was it UCLA?
No, it was USC. But then I think 2 years ago they did the same thing to Oregon.
Yeah, the division's honestly all in the air. Shoot, man, you never know. Washington State always has some quarterback that for 500 yards too. So.
Yeah, I don't know, but who do you think is going to be the Pac-12 championship? Which two teams?
Well, USC is going to be obviously the favorite. I love watching Caleb Williams play. I think he might win the Heisman back-to-back years. But I don't know. I don't trust the defense. I'm going to go Washington. I think Washington is the more complete team.
Okay.
I know I'm also tired of picking the favorite every time, so I'm gonna break it out a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's why I picked Oklahoma for.
I don't believe it at all. I watched him play at Auburn when he was a freshman, and it feels like he's been in the league now in college football 7 years. But I don't know. I just feel like he doesn't. He's a great quarterback. He always puts your team in position to win. There's something about him that I don't see him. I just see him coming up short again. That's what it is, basically. I just see him coming up short.
Yeah, I remember especially his first couple years at Auburn, he's really bad with turnovers.
Exactly. He has a great highlight tape, but it's just there's too many bad, things to counteract it. And he'll probably be a first round pick. He's got great talent. Like I think that there's gonna be one of those games where he's gonna make one mistake and it's gonna cost him.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But I think it's USC definitely gonna be in the Pac-12 championship, and then I feel like it's gonna be USC and Oregon, honestly.
USC and Oregon. You think USC goes undefeated though?
Um,
Or do you think it's gonna be like a dog fight? Everybody's gonna have a 1 or 2 losses. That's what I think. There's too much talent.
I think they're gonna have one loss.
I agree.
Like
one loss is gonna be to Washington.
I could see that, yeah. But yeah, I think it's gonna be USC Oregon at the end, and then honestly, I think USC will win it.
I see it happen. I'm not arguing, but I'm telling you, we're gonna come back to these later after the season, and when Washington wins, I'm gonna make you look stupid. So let's go to the SEC. Who you got?
Let's look. If I can pull it up here. Well, just looking at it, obviously Georgia is the front runner, being back-to-back champions, and then just looking at it, Florida, I don't know, Kentucky, Missouri, and South Carolina with Spencer Rattler. I think South Carolina might have a really good year this year.
Half of the season, man, Spencer Rattler was doing his thing. He was upsetting everybody in the SEC at the end of the season. Everybody forgets, man. That dude was holding down for Oklahoma for a little bit.
Yeah, he was a 5-star coming out of high school.
He looks like Blake Griffin, but
Vanderbilt, no. I mean, Vanderbilt's the same every year. In the West, I mean, Alabama, Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss, Texas A&M. I don't know. I feel like Jimbo might get fired after this year. Texas A&M doesn't have a decent year.
I mean, I can see it happening.
Yeah. Alabama, I don't know what's going to happen with Bama because I feel like their quarterback position is just a toss-up still.
It doesn't matter with how much 5-star recruits they have, though.
Yeah, but you still need a solid quarterback back there to manage the game.
Yeah, I mean, but the quarterbacks they won with back in the day, McCarron, Greg McElroy, like.
Right. Those were just guys who, like I said,
all over. They score 24 points in a game. You're solid.
Right. Defense is always going to hold it down.
You know that they're going to have a great running back. You know they're going to have wide receivers and a great tight end.
Always. As long as you have someone there that can not turn the ball over more than once a game, they'll be all right.
So who you got? I'll first.
I don't know. I mean, coming out of the East, I feel like we're kind of sleeping on Tennessee again.
On Tennessee. No respect. They're like the Denver Nuggets of the SEC, I swear, this year.
In the East, I mean, there's really only 2 teams, Tennessee and Georgia. Georgia also needs to find a quarterback, so we'll see what happens with that. But I think just overall, I think Georgia comes out of the East again. And out of the West, I think it's either going to be probably LSU or Bama. Ole Miss might finish like 8-4. You know, I think Ole Miss is definitely a solid team. But SEC championship, I think it's going to be Georgia and LSU again.
I love what you're saying. I love every bit of it, except for the fact that you did not have Tennessee win the East. I'm telling you, Tennessee is this year's Denver Nuggets, the SEC. Nobody wants to give them any credit. They don't have the flashy roster. I mean, they're just gonna win. I'm telling you. The way that they looked against Clemson in that bowl game, I was sold. I was sold.
Yeah.
That basically back besides Hyatt. They're gonna run the East, and I firmly believe that. And the issue is, can they get over Alabama or LSU? That's gonna be the issue, because I really think that LSU is gonna be a tough team. Um, Everybody already kind of written them off after last season, but I mean that team has so much good talent on it. I don't feel like anybody really left after last year because everybody was so disappointed that everybody kind of came back. The quarterback is what, KJ Jefferson, or is that?
That's Arkansas's quarterback.
Yeah. Sorry, Daniels is the guy. I don't as long as Daniels doesn't turn the ball over, I think LSU has a really good chance to win the West. I'm gonna go back though and say Alabama probably wins the West, but I'm gonna say that Tennessee wins the SEC this year.
Yeah, I have nothing against Tennessee, but I mean Georgia being back-to-back champions, and I think I might also be brainwashed because I'm surrounded by Georgia fans here. So everyone just loves to talk about UGA and how great they are. But I mean, if Tennessee wins the East, it wouldn't surprise me either.
Hey, just saying that KJ Jefferson. I mean, Arkansas might be a little bit of a sleeper team.
Arkansas, yeah.
Last year they kind of fell off, but I don't know. It's tough to come out of the West whenever you're going against Alabama.
Right. And then you got, Auburn, they got Hugh Freeze this year, so we'll see how that goes. And then
this too,
man.
Lane Kiffin's been holding down at Ole Miss.
Can't sleep on old Kiff Daddy there. The Lane train.
The Lane train, choo choo. I mean,
yeah, but
we all know
what I know
about Lane. We don't have to tell our followers how we feel about Lane.
Yeah. What do we know about that guy?
But
don't know about that guy. Can't really speak from experience or anything, but
no, never. And I don't have any personal experiences with that guy.
No, never met the guy.
Let's. So who you got in your final four? This is the last year before it goes to extended bracket. So
yeah,
what do we think?
Let's see. Just looking at the conferences, so I think our Big Ten champion, Michigan. I'm not ranking these in any order. I'm just going to 14. So I'm taking Michigan as one out of the Big Ten. Looking at these other conferences, I think we're going to have two teams out of the SEC. So Georgia.
Just like every year.
And then Tennessee. Because it's going to be like Georgia might be like 1 or 2. Tennessee might be like 3 or 4. Or no.
LSU and Alabama made it. They're going to win the SEC championship, and then
whoever gets bumped, team right behind them is
the ones. Yeah, because they're going to have one loss behind them.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be Georgia and Tennessee. And then my fourth team, I'm going to go with USC.
I love that list. Now I'm going to go with Michigan. I'm going to go Tennessee. And Do I want to put a second team from the SEC?
I don't know. Do you?
I mean, it's happened every year. I feel like it's gonna be different to not do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Georgia because I feel the exact same way. I really think that Alabama and LSU are gonna lose 1-1. So like,
I just think there's gonna be two teams from at least one, like from one conference, whether it's the SEC, the Big Ten, or the Big 12.
So I think it's gonna be. Yeah, last year was the first year that they didn't have two teams, so I don't think it's gonna happen twice in a year. So I'm gonna go Michigan. Tennessee is my sleeper. I'm going with them. Obviously, I have them winning the SEC. I'm gonna have Georgia, that one loss to Tennessee in there, and then I'm gonna have. I know. I mean, that's tough. Because I want to kind of put Alabama in there since they haven't made it last year. But,
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch it since you have Georgia. I'm gonna go with Alabama and Tennessee. I'm gonna go Michigan, Tennessee, Alabama, and I'm gonna do Washington as that sleeper.
Nice.
Oh no, they'll have a loss. So I'm gonna have Pac-12 never gets any respect. So I'll go with the ACC team. I'll go Clemson. I forgot I said they're going undefeated.
Okay. I did see an interesting hot take on YouTube the other day that this year is the 10th anniversary of the college football playoff, and someone said that in honor of it being the 10th anniversary, it's going to be they're going to run it back with the first four teams that are in the first one. So they said it's going to be Oregon, Florida State, Alabama, and Ohio State.
That's what was it? Oregon, Ohio State, Florida State, and what?
Yeah, so it was Oregon played Florida State, and Alabama played Ohio State.
Listen, all those teams are so great. So much diversity in the NCAA right now. That's why I'm so stoked that they're changing it to 8 teams after this year. It's gonna be so much more fun. It's more football, more big games that actually mean something, that the kids aren't gonna sit out whenever they don't make the college football playoff anymore, because the top 8 teams will be there. So
right. No one's opt out of bowl games anymore.
Wait for 2024 for that to happen. So many good things in college football is happening in 2024. We get NCAA football back. Thank God, it's too long. we get 10 teams or 8 teams in the college football playoff. Hopefully they regulate the NIL deal so people stop going to the transfer portal every 2 days.
Yeah, we'll see about that one.
But yeah, no, I'm stoked for that 18 playoff next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I hate it because like bowl games are becoming significant, but college football is just evolving into this new thing we've never seen before with the playoff and all the NIL.
I agree, but at the same point, that 8 teams is gonna be like the March Madness of football.
Right.
Bowl games haven't been significant in probably, honestly, like 10 years since the college football playoff, because most of the kids that make the college football playoff are just like, hey, why am I going to play and risk myself getting hurt? I might as well get ready for the draft. So I think the 8 teams being in there gives them more time, like another reason to showcase their talent, so they'll stay. Because everybody wants to win a national. Just with the diversity there has been, like, honestly, we're going to, I guarantee you, in 5-6 years after 2024, 2030 comes around, we're going to be like, oh, we need 12 teams. We need to move to 10 teams.
So I think after a few years of it being 8 teams, they'll go to, 10 or 12, and then, who knows after that.
Exactly. And I think it's fun because it's going to give the smaller schools a chance, too.
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time there's been like a group of 5 national champion Like it's probably been decades.
Decades at least. Yeah. I mean,
Like back before.
don't get me wrong. Cincinnati got by Alabama. It was fun to see him in there.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, even like you could say TCU. TCU's not that big of a name last year, even though they're Power 5.
Yeah. They're also, yeah. I mean, they're not a big school either. I think they have like 7 or 8,000 students enrolled.
Yeah, I mean they're growing. Don't get me wrong. That was getting. I mean, it seems like in every sport they're always in the championship. They're a team to be in the NCAA tournament. They just in the baseball World Series, College World Series. They're in. Shoot, man, who knows? They might have been in there for water polo too. I don't know.
Get weaving.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think about our college football predictions. Yeah, I think pretty solid either both ways.
Yeah, I'm just excited for college football season to start. I think week 0 starts 26th.
So 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know in the comments if we anything, and we got some more content to release this week for you. See you.